Hi everyone, Evie here. I'm the owner and founder of My Sleeping Baby, and today is Sleep Tip Tuesday. We're going to continue with our video series discussing some of the biggest mistakes that families often make when they're trying to improve the sleep habits of their babies and children. So the mistake that we're going to discuss today is something I see very, very frequently. And that's that the parents are still continuing to put the baby or child down in the crib or bed, either asleep or half asleep. They're not putting the child down completely 100% awake. And I'll explain to you why this can be a problem if your goal is to maximize your child's sleep. So how a baby falls asleep initially at bedtime sets the tone for the rest of the night. You see, the purpose of sleep training is to strengthen your child's sleep skills so that they can fall asleep completely unassisted and be able to fall back to sleep completely unassisted for all non-nutritive night wakings, of course, without relying on any kind of sleep prop like nursing or rocking or padding or mom's presence being right there. And you see, if the baby relies on a certain set of sleep props to fall asleep initially at bedtime, there's nothing stopping that baby from waking up at night expecting those same set of circumstances to be present. So what I find will often happen is the family will nurse the baby until the baby is, let's say, very, very drowsy, and then baby will wake up at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then they'll begin implementing a sleep training method then, and the baby's gonna cry for a really, really, really long time, struggling to put themselves back to sleep. And the reason is because if the baby never acquired that set of tools initially at bedtime, then the baby is not going to know what to do with himself or herself in the middle of the night when she's waking up. So a very common follow-up question that I get from parents is the following. They'll say to me, you know, Eva, even though I rock my child all the way to sleep or I rock him until he's half asleep, sometimes he sleeps through the night. Sometimes he puts himself back to sleep and other times he doesn't. So, you know, last night he slept straight through, but 2 nights ago he was up 3 times. It's completely unpredictable. So here's my response to that, because they'll assume, they'll say, listen, you know, Eva, my child knows how to put himself back to sleep because he does it sometimes. So I'll tell you what my response to that is. When we're talking about your child's independent sleep skills, it's not a yes or no question. It's not, I don't like asking, the question is not, can your baby put himself to sleep independently? Yes or no. That's not the question. The question is, how strong are your baby's independent sleep skills on a scale of 1 to 10? So if, let's say, you have a baby that relies on rocking to fall asleep, a 1 would be that on the weakest end of the spectrum is a baby that needs to be vigorously rocked to sleep and needs to be out cold before getting transferred, and then often wakes up at night needing that same set of circumstances. A 10, on the other hand, would be a baby without any sleep props whatsoever. A baby that has a bedtime routine, is placed in the crib completely awake, mom leaves and maybe puts himself to sleep. A baby that needs to be rocked until he's drowsy and maybe patted a little bit would be, let's say, a 5 or a 6, right? So a 5 or a 6 is better than a 1. But the problem is that if the baby's sleep skills aren't a 10, all bets are off, right? It's very normal for your nights to be unpredictable because sometimes his skills might be good enough to get himself back to sleep, and other times they won't be, and he'll be relying on you to help him. So if your goal is to maximize your baby's or toddler's sleep as much as you can and get as much predictability and consistency to your baby's nighttime sleep, as well as to naps for that matter, it's very, very, very important to be placing the baby down completely awake at bedtime and beginning any kind of sleep training plan initially at bedtime so that your baby acquires those tools in his or her toolbox to be able to put herself back to sleep throughout the night as well. I hope this was helpful, everyone. For those of you who might need any additional support or some customized advice for your baby's sleep challenges or your toddler's sleep challenges, feel free to reach out. You can find me at www.mysleepingbaby.com for all the information that you need on my support options. I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day, everyone.